morning. You're welcome to our morning live program today on ACNN, your trusted platform for timely discussions on church news, biblical teachings, and the societal issues shaping our world. Join us as we bring faith and current affairs together, offering insightful conversations, inspiring perspectives, and practical guidance for everyday living. This is today on ACNN. Informing, inspiring, and impacting lives. Please stay with us. I am your anchor for today, and to make this more interesting, I have my co-anchors with me today. I'll always start. Please.
Ladies first.
Yes, ladies first.
I'm Rebecca Julius, and welcome to today on ACNN.
You're welcome, Rebecca.
All right, good morning, viewers all over the world. I'm Femi Ogundari this morning, and thank you, Rachel.
Good morning.
For spiting me this morning.
I'm not spiting you.
I'm glad he
Ladies
didn't
first.
drag it when I said ladies first.
You said what?
I'm glad he didn't drag it with me when I said ladies
No,
first.
no. He knows more than that. Okay, joining us virtually from Delta State is Prince Gostime Okwanwe, who is a human rights activist. You're welcome to the program this morning.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to our hosts, guests, and viewers all over the world.
Thank you for joining us this morning. And remember, you can be part of this conversation by calling us through the numbers showing on your screen or via the various social media platforms shown on your screen. Your thoughts and opinions are always welcome. So sit back as we bring headlines ranging from insecurity, train derailment, and false allegations from our national dailies. And it's over to you, Rebecca, with the Vanguard newspaper.
All right, thank you, Rachel. The Vanguard newspaper this morning says how high prices are degrading quality of food Nigerians eat. We have NPA, Nimasa, others helpless as tankers shut down Oshodi Apapa Expressway. Nigeria may retaliate against South Africa. And also we have abducted Oyo principals speaks from captivity. She begs Nigerians to secure their freedom. We also have Pastor Emily AIG Omogede Memorial Lecture. And it says political position isn't leadership. Who cartels Nigerians. And I think lastly, on the Vanguard newspaper, we have Finance Ministry, contractors clash over outstanding debt. We can get that story on page 19 of the Vanguard newspaper.
All right, we have only one story from this end this morning, and that's on insecurity, coming from the Guardian newspaper. That labor protests as Senate expedites state police. That story is on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. Thank you, Rachel.
Okay, thank you, Femi. Now we go to the Punch newspaper, and I'll take it below the masthead. It says terrorists den 360 freed Borno captives recount starvation deaths. And the kicker says survivors reveal forced teenage recruitment. Wow. Senate to debate state police bill this week. The story can be found on pages 2 and 3 of the Punch newspaper. And beside this picture story on still page 3, Oyo abduction. Kidnapped principal denies bandit Sharia demand. Nigeria spent 50 billion naira on US visa application. Story on page 9 of the Punch newspaper. And on page 7, xenophobia, federal government weighs sanctions against South Africa. And this story now, suspected kidnappers kill soldier, injure another in Ogun State. That story is on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. And to the last story here, 53,000 dead, 50 million sick yearly from unsafe food. Wow. That story is on page 7 of the Punch newspaper. Like we rightly say, as always, please go out there, get the dailies for yourself and keep yourself abreast and get the in-depth story of the headlines read to you this morning. Okay, like I read in the Punch newspaper, we have 53,000 dead, 50 million sick yearly from unsaved food. This is on the Punch newspaper, and here we are, how high prices are degrading the quality of Nigerians as they eat. Quality of food Nigerians eat. Is it something we will attribute to the quality of food we see these days? Because I know it's something is a fact. You hear things have gone up rather than you still maintain the quality of that same product. You reduce the quality and increase the price. This is what we get to experience these days. So with the number of death casualties, about 50,000 of people dying, and 53,000 dead, 50 million sick yearly from unsafe food. Should we attribute this to it?
All right. I would like to say that quickly, that we understand the fact that we are poor in this country. I'm sorry. That is the...
Are we really poor? Because we have those who
as long as we
are
cannot
swimming in money
on the surface.
as long as we cannot harness our common patrimony to favor all, we are as good as being poor. As long as we belong to the underdeveloped countries, we are as good as being poor. And again, is that people just want to survive. When it comes to quality, they don't mind. Go to the market, people prefer the inferior tomatoes. As long as it's cheap, just let's stay alive.
As long as something gets to the stomach.
You understand? Let's just stay alive. And number two is that it's a discussion that the federal government is not ready to go into. It is this influx of GMO foods. It's killing us. These artificial foods. It's killing, before now you see our fathers live longer because they have access to organic and
natural food.
Because now we have GMOs.
Preservatives everywhere.
Put your corn there, and within 3 weeks you're harvesting. How is that possible?
Improve varieties.
You understand? This is GMO, and it's been sponsored by this man Bill Gates, and of course one of us who was then Akiwumi was in African Development Bank, was also a big fan of it. They even invested billions of dollars into this. It's part of what is affecting us health-wise. What we are eating is no longer, number one, organic, and number two, the poverty rate. We give people no choice than to consume anything available as long as it is affordable. And it is not everything that is affordable that is healthy. They just say, okay, that food, it's spoiled, but we can give you for this. Okay, just give me. Just give me. That's why we have.
I can salvage it. There is some. If I put a little potash or something
You
to take
understand?
out that, not knowing that very thing that will kill you is already there.
I'm serious.
I think it's high time we go back to the good old days of our parents, where they eat more of natural food. And this generation is an instant. We want everything instant. Instant noodles, instant this, instant that. You understand? We want to get everything within a very short pace of time, and we are not ready to endure. Just like you rightfully said, if I just add little potash to it, everything will be fine and I can be able to eat it. But then there are things that are inside that your bare eyes actually cannot be able to see. And just like Femi said,
you mentioned the spoiled tomatoes.
Yes, people prefer Bajé tomatoes. When you go to the market,
it's cheap.
Yes, that's the
it's
common
cheaper
name.
than the good one you see in the market.
And you know what? Some people even say it's sweeter. I don't know how true.
It's poverty.
Some people even say it's
I'm
sweet.
serious.
When you make stew with it, it
He will
tastes
say,
sweeter than the
you know,
fresh one.
a woman that has 6 children and went to the market to buy just small quantity of tomatoes, and the seller is telling her that it's 5,000, and now you saw the budget one that is 1,500. You will forget about quality. You want to just survive.
And you know, most of these food vendors, most of them, you know, sometimes we just walk into restaurants and eat. Sometimes we don't even know what we are taking into our system. Most of them, when they go, they go for the cheaper one because they are out for business and they want to make profits. So sometimes we just eat without. It's just God that is helping so many
You know,
of
at
us in
times you
Nigeria,
won't blame
because-
the masses that much. When you walked in this morning, you saw us discussing this
Yeah.
morning. We're talking about the prices of food, especially tomato. With one of my colleagues, I was saying, I made stew, but more of I don't know if you shombo, we call
Yes.
it the
The long pepper, yeah.
Yes, with your pepper, blend it with enough onions, then you get a little paste, and you have
Add it.
your stew there. This is what they've reduced us into, because if you want to buy a basket, just this small basket of tomato, it goes for 16,000 or more. Just the small one. So how many will you buy that will go for the family if you really want to buy for a month, keep for a month? How many will you buy
In
that
fact,
will go round?
I want to even ask, I want to even add that keeping for a month, where is the electricity to preserve them?
That is another
But there's
thing.
still a better way to preserve. Like, I have someone close to me that this is what she does. Anytime tomatoes goes cheap, she rush to the market, buy enough as she can, and then all you need to do is to slice it and then dry it under the sun. And when it's dry, all you need to do when you want to use it is just to soak it in warm water, and then
But
be
it
able
won't,
to grind.
it won't look
Though it's
like-
time consuming,
like the
yes,
fresh
but then
one.
Fresh
yeah, it
one.
might not taste alike, but then is it not better than the ones with so many preservatives in the market?
And I want to also encourage that we can have small for those people that God has probably blessed with a house of their own, is to like have little or small gardens behind your own house, and
course, yeah.
at least plant what you eat, like your veggies and small things you can afford, right? Plant them, like
Have
me
your
now.
ugu, you can
understand?
plant them,
I can
your
plant.
peppers,
Yeah,
At
your
least
okra and
be
the rest.
the producer of what you consume.
Yeah.
And again, I want to also discourage this canned food. We consume them a lot. All this canned food, corned beef, and the likes of sardines, and a lot of them.
Do you know?
Be careful, cut down on them. It affects our health so much that if you consume them, you will see that it will shorten the longevity of your life. So it's good that we go on organic, and I also pray that God will make our nation very
Okay,
great.
I'll also throw the question to our guest, Honorable Prince Gostheim. We read in the Punch newspaper about 53,000 dead, 50 million sick yearly from unsafe food. This is confirmed by the federal government, and we also high prices are degrading the quality of food in Nigeria. I don't know how much foodstuffs cost in Delta State. Maybe they are more cheaper than it is in Abuja. Here, please, your thoughts on this, because this is becoming alarming by the day. You go to the market, you take maybe 10,000 naira won't even get you anything. You will look at yourself. At times you feel like crying. So your take on this, please, God's time, please.
All right. That news, it's a statement of facts. We are all aware that a lot of our people continue to die because of the kind of food and the quality of food that they eat. And all of these are happening because we have lost a lot of things as a people. We have lost our culture, we have lost our way of life, and we are bowed down to things that are naturally alien to us. That is why you see all of this happening, because how do we describe that? Okay, first of all, there is a reason why every region, every ethnic nationality have their cuisine. That is their type of food that they cook. I will say that this food is particular to Robo people. This food is particular to Igbo people. This food is particular to Hausa and Fulani people. There's a reason for that, and the reason is because of these people at that time where they created this cuisine. They did that from the angle of productivity, what they can produce for themselves. That is making do with what was available within their locality and their place. They produce what they eat at that time. But now, whatever that is happening to us can be attributed to laziness and losing touch with our natural reality. That is why you see a lot of this, because you mentioned GMOs. We now rely on exportation. What we are going to eat, we are not relying on exporting them, which is not good at all. And that's why you see people are dying. I could hear through the earlier conversation when somebody mentioned tomato, that there are two types, that there's one that is bad and there's one that is good. Now, this tomato, to me as a man, tomato used to be alien to me. What we understand and what we knew, what our taste buds were familiar with at the time of old, we are also touch that we make by ourselves, natural, amiedi that we make by ourselves, natural. Those were those were our reality. But now, what is now currently happening is totally rubbish, and it is imperative that if we must stop these deaths, we must go back to our winning ways. In those days, there's what we call uroboti. It is called pepper soup. Hot pepper, once you wake up in the morning, you prepare it sharp and it's done, natural. You're not going to die. And now look at it. It is even beyond the numbers that he gave during which was the statistic that you just read out. It is above that. Why am I saying that? You notice that lifespan of these days are now shorter. Shorter attributed to our foods. So if we should now, let us go back to our senses. Okay, what should be done is what is available within our environment. Let us go back to our cuisine, not by spoiling our taste, but trying to test what belongs to other people. And on the long run, we are now unable to afford it. And we must not forget, this is a country that runs a fuel economy, that fuel affects everything. Everything. From foodstuff, transport, everything, because we bring this into transportation. From the north, from the up north down to south. Do you expect that it's going to be cheap and affordable? So the moment we realize that no, we must grow what we eat as it used to be, or we must eat what is grown around here, because not everyone are going to be farmers. But the moment you are eating what is grown around your place, it's going to be affordable. But the moment you are now, your taste bud is now more familiar with foreign things, what you now expect to come from the north, or we are now even exporting food from America and the United Kingdom, China now. So those are the problems. It is beyond our statistics. The advice I'm a bit to our people that it is proper that we go back to our winning ways. Let our culture sink in us, that we used to have a culture before this civilization that we now post and flaunt everywhere. Okay, we used to have our culture.
Thank you, Prince Gostam. I hope this has sinked into so many of us. So, Femi, go back to your roots. Those natural things you're leaving behind. Go back to it. You have lemongrass. You drink it as tea. Right?
Yes.
I think
he made mention of robot tea.
He will need to send us the recipe for.
We need the recipe so that we will start.
I think all of us
making use of it. Over to you, Femi.
All right. Thank you so much, Prince Gostam. Now to our viewers, we take on now to Anglicanism. We are going to be listening to our revered father, the Right Reverend Professor Dapo Folorunsho Ashaju. He spoke on the election of men with two wives into the PCC, that's a parochial church council in the Anglican Church. When we see this video, and after seeing this video, we'll come back for the discussion. We shall be right back.
it right to have somebody who has 2 wives in the PCC of a church?
The emphasis is not the issue of PCC. The emphasis is more on salvation and what God wants. We know very well that God's ideal is monogamy. God, in the New Testament era, in the Christian era, does not encourage polygamy. But if there are people who are polygamists among us, are they saved? If they are saved and they are redeemed, if they are still members of the church, and if you allow them to still participate in worship and other activities of the church, what matters is to exclude them from sacred duties. PCC is not a sacred duty. PCC is just an administrative arm, a unit which is supposed to have representatives of the segments of the church to take decisions under the chairmanship of the vicar. So it is at the pleasure of the synod of each diocese. Anglican Church is very organized. The bishop is not just an authoritarian. He runs 3 governments. So he runs the executive government as the bishop, Lord Bishop. He runs the legislative government as the president of the synod, where laws are made. And he runs the judiciary by being the head of the bishop's court. This bishop's court is supposed to be a place where, according to canonical law, cases are tried and they adjudicate like obas adjudicate in their territory. So the bishop is a judicial officer, he's a legislative officer, he's also an executive officer. And so matters like this can be determined by the legislative synod. And if they say they permit, so be it. But as far as I'm concerned, it's not a part of the sacred duties that you can exclude. They can't come to the priesthood, for example. That is sacred. When it comes to the administrative aspect, if you have some of them you use in other capacities, PCC is not the one that is the most important in the church. It's just it depends on what the bishop and the synod says.
Okay.
The question can go further. Who is entitled to take communion? Is it perfect? Are you perfect? Even those who are married single, what of those who have 1 wife and who have serial other concubines here and there, multiple wives outside? You know the life of everybody. People have their own hidden problems here and there. So a sinner is a sinner. Whoever comes, what of the person who's an armed robber, you do not know. He comes here and takes Holy Communion. So you're excluding one person because of so. We should do less with all these official rights and talk more about salvation, about living biblical lives, and stop all this over legislation. We have to be very careful. You must be very careful the way you overplay the issue of the polygamy. We will not encourage it. We will not encourage it. Let's not go into all these arguments. It's not the ideal, but you don't have to ostracize those who are members of the church. If they go to other churches and they find you collect their money, you collect that thing, and you I'm not encouraging them. I'm not encouraging them. But please, let's get our acts right. What is Christianity? It's your salvation and your faith and your relationship with God. Less of these church institutions and structures that are driving people. Please, you have to be careful. Same thing goes for burial. We put so many impediments on people, you won't bury your own member because they couldn't pay one money or the other, and we lose members. We should stop all this. What are the essentials and non-essentials? I don't consider that as part of
That's a very serious table broken by the Right Reverend Professor Faloran Shodapo Ashaju, the Bishop's Theologian, the Church of Nigeria, Anglican Communion. But then, my Lord Bishop, I know that you may not be watching us now, but then I know a lot of viewers are having agitations in their mind. What was Bishop saying? And I have one question here, quickly, for one of our viewers, before I come to Rachel and of course Rebecca. The viewer said that if the bishop is saying that it's not biblical, and of course it's against our doctrine as Anglican faithful to elect men with 2 wives into the parochial council. He said, but then we have seen this happen severally, and of course it's still happening, that whenever it comes to big men with affluence, the church seems to be silent on this particular principle. So why is it so? We have men with 2 wives, 3 wives in our PCC today, and the church, because of their wealth, and of course, maybe some of them are bankrolling the church. The church seems to turn deaf ears to this. So why? And these men are using Abraham as a case study, that God permitted that Sarah bring in Hagar. I don't know, maybe Rachel will help us this morning. Maybe on that, and then Rebecca. But we want to encourage our viewers to please call us. This is a very strong discussion this morning that borders on our faith and, of course, on our way of life as Anglican faithful. We encourage you to please call in using the number showing on your screen, or send us your comments through any of our social media also showing on your screen. To you, Rachel.
Okay, like the question you rightfully
A viewer.
A viewer from a viewer. This is something that has eaten deep into our churches, not only the Anglican Communion. As long as you are an influential member and you pay your dues, you know the dues I'm talking about now. You're up and doing. You're one of the influential person in the church. Whenever they call on you, you are ready to answer. At the beck and call, you are always there, which is not supposed to be done. If you are setting a laid down rule, it should be applicable to every other person. You shouldn't be biased when it comes to others. Okay, this is applicable to them, and on the same rule you tend to turn blind eyes to others. We've seen it so many times happening, not only on the issue of marrying just one wife. We know if the Bible say a man of one wife, right? Okay, and it is not like the bishop theologian rightly said, it is not a criteria for you getting to heaven. And I'm a bit confused here. The Bible says a man of one wife. And we hear here again, it is not a criteria for you to getting to heaven. So how do we just oppose this now and get, I don't even know.
All right,
Let me bring it together.
All right, let me put perspective to that. I think the Pharisees came to Jesus Christ in the Gospel of Matthew, and they told him that a man had one wife, and the husband of that man died. His brother took over the wife, right?
I think it's a woman.
It was betrothed, right? Took over the woman, right? And the brother also died. The other brother of that same person, that same brother in that same lineage and family, took over the woman. They now asked Jesus Christ, since you said there is resurrection after this death, after life, there is life after this, there's eternal life after this our world. He said, who is now going to be the owner of the woman? Trying to test Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ now said, in the beginning it was not so. He said, male and female, he created them. It was because of your disobedience that Moses gave you that law. That means, biblically and ab initio, it is God's mindset that we be one wife, one husband. So, but my question, the question of the viewer now is that why is it that our church leaders, when it comes to rich people, principles, rules are broken?
You know, the church is supposed to be an example to men. It's supposed to be a pace setter. But just like you rightfully said, but the saying goes, whatever is good for the geese is also good
for the gander.
So I see no reason why some people should be given preference over others when it comes to standards like this. If the church have outrightly made it clear that, okay, it's a one wife, one man, one woman that should be in the PCC, I see no reason why others, because just like you rightfully said, because they are always at the beck and call of the church, they are always there whenever they are needed, they have the money and what the influence and whatnot. So whenever there's spaces for people to be in the PCC, some of them are easily looked upon to occupy those spaces. But when you are one of those that is not always at the beck and call, that's when they begin to know that there's a law like this.
Okay.
A law like this exists.
I'll have to Cut you there.
Okay.
It would have been more interesting if we have the bishop theologian,
Yes,
so that
right
he will
here.
clear our doubts and some unanswered questions we have within us, but not to keep our guests waiting.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we'll go right into the discussion segment with some of the trending stories we have on ground. Okay, it's been quite interesting one here in the studio. Please, you can join us via the numbers showing on your screen or call us. Your thoughts and opinions are always welcome. And I still have Rebecca with me and Femi in the studio.
Why not Femi and Rebecca?
Okay, Femi, Rebecca, whichever way.
But we say ladies first.
All right, and we have Prince Gustime Ukwanwe right from Delta State. Thank you for holding on there in Delta State. Now to the discussion we have before us this morning. We have the story on the former Minister of Power's sister and children rescued and kidnappers apprehended, and also terrorists then 360 freed Borno captives recount starvation and death. Like I said yesterday, I know it's a discussion that is going to linger for a while. Yesterday I said, whatever it is, when our military personnel, when our security officers do well, we should applaud them.
Yeah.
And when they don't do well, we also reprimand them so that they will go ahead and do better. About 360 were released in Borno State, I think Goshe community in Borno State. So let's take a look at this video. When we come back, we'll talk more on the topic before us.
They will kidnap from the town and drive them down there to hide them. For maybe they don't want anybody to know the whereabouts of whoever is the victim. So what is there is that you have seen that this house is within premises. People have been seeing them coming in here without anybody reporting the conduct. And according to those who we have the victims that we have interviewed, they said they will be hearing what are the happenings in the other compound, but they cannot come out. So obviously, what is there is that if you see something, you say something. If they have done that, maybe for a while, we will have been able to arrest them before now.
Okay, what's your message to residents of Oyo State regarding when they have any or have idea of any sinister activities like this around them?
And they should report to the security agencies so that we can take necessary action. Okay.
Is there any update?
Can you help us to describe how
they were arrested?
They were arrested. How the information was received? If it was a collaboration between the local vigilantes or there was a hint. You say after the incident on the 3rd of this month, we had a technical intelligence, and based on that, we made follow-up, which resulted to this. So it was purely through intelligence.
Okay. There are information making the rounds, sir, that this is politically motivated. How true is that, sir?
We are still investigating.
Okay, sir.
There are some
witness to the people of Oyo State, because in 2016 there was a law signed by the former immediate past governor against kidnapping. What do we expect? Because this is a building that was used for to commit the crime. What do we expect? What should the public expect after this, sir?
The public should expect that the governor will take a decisive decision as regards this place.
There are rumors going around that Sonego has hands in this rescue operation. How true is that?
I'm not aware of that.
Okay.
You just watched the video from the rescue operation of the sister of the former minister, sister and the twin boys that were rescued some days back in Oyo State. And we also saw this video from Borno State. About 360 kidnapped victims were rescued. One, we hear of so many questions and concerns. This same kidnapping happened in Oyo State, where we have teachers and students still in the kidnappers' den. And the question is, what measures did they use to get these victims rescued that you can also apply to this, the teachers and the students still in the kidnappers' den? And you hear things like this is a different scenario that played out and stuff like that. And that of the Borno State, we hear of stories that there was never exchange for the terrorists and and the security personnel. They brought them out and left them at a certain point when the security personnel came for them. In all of this, there was no terrorist, none whatsoever, that was captured. At least let's have one to serve as a scapegoat. Not even a dead body. At least let's know, okay, something was done. And that of the Oyo State, we hear the house that housed the kidnapped victims has been demolished according to the law of the state. My questions to you now go to our guest, Prince Ukwanwe. Different questions that need answers, which are yet to be answered now. That of the Borno State, no casualty, nobody, not even one terrorist, not even a dead body. None was apprehended. And we come to Oyo State. These people were kidnapped on the 2nd and on the 6th. Whatever they used, whatever they were able to, tactics they used, they were able to get these people. And we still have our teachers and students in the kidnappers' den. Please, your thoughts on this morning. Over to you, Prince.
Opinion on this issue is very straight. It is terrible and it's painful that Nigeria is continuing to suffer insecurity. And I will say for free that the reason why we are experiencing insecurity in Nigeria is because of a failed system, a failed government, lack of integrity, and it's a reflection that the country is corrupt. Our borders are porous, arms and ammunition are coming in on a daily basis. Our government are implementing policies that are anti-people on a daily basis, which further encourage to go into crime and criminality, and there's a class problem. Now, put the scenario at Oyo, the former minister's a family that were rescued, and the school children that are still being kept hostage at this very moment. It shows that there's a class problem. When it is for the elites, you will see response from this failed government. They will become very, very agile and they will want to put in the work. But when it comes to the people, it's a different ball game. This problem is from the top to the bottom, from the federal government down to the local government. It is very, very practical. Their family are well protected and guided, while there is no protection and guidance for our people. Then the moment you call for security, they will respond with using that very security that you call for to come to attack you. You remember what happened to us in Africa when we are protesting against kidnappers. The security that failed to protect us, it came to attack us on the protest ground. This is to show what our governments prioritize, what their priorities are. It's a very simple matter. The logic is simple. Our current problem, in respect to insecurity, it's a direct reflection that our governments have failed. Policies are affecting us, and they don't have priority for the masses. They only prioritize ourselves. Because how do you explain? These children in Oyo and the students that were kidnapped, they were first kidnapped before the family of the former minister. And dramatically, the minister's family have been rescued. And some of you people are applauding them, saying that when security people are doing well, we should applaud them. Do you know how much is being ceded to the police, the Ministry of Police Affairs on yearly basis? Do you know how much goes to the what's it called? The Nigerian Army on yearly basis? There's a need for accountability. These people, they will budget money for a firearm and all of this, but they won't do it. There is big corruption within our security architecture in Nigeria. That is why I have been a lone voice calling for a police reform. And today, I'm not going to begin that there should also be a reform within the Nigerian Army and the military. Look at what happened to Justice Crack a few weeks ago. He came out and did a video trying to create awareness on the kind of food that are being given to our military men in the front line in the fight against insecurity. What happened to him? They were able to track him to his house in Abuja, arrested him, and kept him incommunicado with his family for days. Surprisingly, this is the same country where kidnappers, they come live on TikTok and even do giveaway, and we are unable to track them. So it's a very simple logic. It's a matter of priority. Our security people do not prioritize the security of Nigerians. Our government do not care about the life of the people. They only care about themselves. That is why insecurity continue to thrive. And you see, it is not a business. It is $1 million industry. I will tell you for free. The insecurity currently happening in Nigeria is $1 million industry, whereby people invest in the insecurity, and I suspect that those in power are part of the insecurity. They are contributing factor. This is outside that they are the one that caused insecurity in the first place. I'm telling you that they must have invested a lot of money into insecurity. That is why insecurity continues to thrive in Nigeria. So that's my piece. I am not here, and I will not give accolades to the security authorities that rescued the family of the former minister in Oyo State. I am saying here, live and direct, that it is a matter, it's a class problem. When it is for the rich and powerful, rescue come. When it's for the poor, we poor people and the masses, they don't come for us. Simple and clear.
All right, Prince Constantine, you would have noticed also with me that before they went for that rescue mission, we would have seen that canopies were already set, chairs were already set, ready to welcome those that have been kidnapped. Does it in any way look like something that has been staged before going on that rescue mission? Because how would you have known that it will be a success mission and you'll be able to get back these people, because everything has already been set to receive them? Does it in any way look like something that has been staged, or is something we should applaud the Nigerian military for?
Look, if you say, oh, the other uncle there say B and I say C, now it's a B. I am not the one that is going to tell you that whatever happened in Oyo State in respect to the minister's family is scripted. I'm not going to say that. But the only way I can use my hand to knock my chest and tell you is that we have a class problem in Nigeria. Nigeria is currently divided along a class line. There is a place for the 1% of the 1% in Nigeria, while there is no place for the masses. But sadly, the masses have not waken up to the reality and demand to own their own country by themselves. Because the moment we own our country, all of this elite and this 1% of the 1% that continue to do that is bad to us, there will be a story of yesterday. So I'm not telling you to script it, but we all know what happened in Oyo State. All Nigerians, irrespective of those people that are trying to be trying to sugarcoat, we all know what happened. Those people that are giving accolades to our security people, let us clap for them. We know what they did.
When they do something right, we should applaud them.
The like of Rachel. Rachel is
when they do something right, we should applaud them. So that they will do
yes, they have done something right. Praise them. They rescue this man pikin, praise them. Poor man pikin dey inside bush. Now poor man pikin dey very carry you. He dey inside bush. They carry poor man pikin go bush. They carry rich man pikin put for bungalow.
All right, Prince God's time. Quickly on the Oyo kidnap. A video surfaced on internet a few days ago. I think that was yesterday. And one of the adoptees said, based on what was going around on social media, that the kidnappers were demanding $1 billion to be paid into an account in Benin Republic, and of course they want to Islamize.
I have a video for that. Maybe you will take a look at it.
All right, they want to Islamize Oyo State by way of Sharia law and a lot of demands. But the woman came on video to debunk those demands. So we are wondering, what is happening? Is it that, I don't know, is it the government of Oyo State that wants to cash out? Is it the federal government that wants to cash out? But before you give your response, we have a video to that effect. We'll be right back.
This that abducted us requested for release of some people. They requested for ₦1 billion. They requested for Sharia to be entrenched in the country. These are not true. They are just trying to create problems for us. We have been here since. We have not been forced to worship in Islamic way. We have been left alone. They have not troubled us concerning that. They are not asking for Sharia law. They are not asking for money. The single thing they are asking for is the release of someone to make some clear people. I don't know why they are peddling this rumor to make it complicated for us. Please, we are just begging you. Don't play politics with our lives. Nigerians, please help us to circulate this. Let it go viral. They are not asking for Sharia law. It is not true. They are not asking for weapons. They are not asking for money. All they want is the release of some people. And the government will negotiate with them and know those that they will release for them. I don't know why they are playing politics with our life. Please, Nigerians, our lives are in your hand. Help us make this go viral. Don't let the government deceive the whole world. They are not asking for Sharia. They are not asking for money. They are not asking for weapons. All they want is release of some of their people. Please, let everybody know about it. Ṣùgbọ́n tí wọ́n fi hàn wá ní orí social media ni pé wọ́n níjọba sọ wípé kí wọ́n máa ṣe Sharia law.
Welcome back, and going to you now, or coming to you now, Prince Gustin. I know you've seen this video before this time, and looking at what the principal said, we were meant to know that that is the principal of that school that was attacked. She said they were not asking for $1 billion as purported, and of course they were not trying to Islamize your state. They were only asking that the government should release some of their people that were being imprisoned at Agodi.
3 of them.
Agodi minimum prison in Oyo State, that's Ibadan. So Prince Gustin, as I said, as I said earlier on, that is it that government is trying to cash out, or who is behind this purported news flying around before this woman came out to debunk it? Over to you.
Well, I don't believe that either the government at any level are trying to cash out with the current insecurity in Oyo State. I do not also believe when I earlier seen that claim whereby they said that they wanted to Islamize Oyo State, probably I just laughed because I noticed that it was a conspiracy theory that was scripted into the arrangement to give it a Hausa Fulani name. It may shock you that if God helping us that they catch these criminals, these people that are currently troubling Oyo State, to a surprise that it may be Yoruba people. But then again, let's move out from that. This video from the woman, who does what anybody that is in ego stage will do. He was only delivering the message that he was being told to deliver by doctors, and all she wants is freedom. So from inception, I know that there was no $1 billion a ransom demand. I have also known that there was no Sharia law enforcement or whatsoever, because Oyo is under the Southwest, and we Yoruba people, we have majority of them that are Muslim also, and even within the Yoruba and modern Muslim, there is also discrepancy. So it's not possible. It was never possible. So I had always believed that it was a conspiracy theory or an agenda, a narrative that was pushed initially to fulfill an agenda for political reasons. For that is for that. So for me, I will plead with our government, most especially the governor of Oyo State, my very good senior friend, Egbon Seyi Makinde, please put every machinery in place to rescue these people. Thank you all.
Okay, before we release you, Prince Gostam, we have this story from Remi Tinubu, the train derailed in Itakwe, your state over there. The one from Tinubu's wife said, not only in Nigeria, everywhere in the world, even in America, flights are expensive. That is why President Tinubu is doing the coastal road, coming from the wife of the president. And we hear of the story of 3 dead, 4 coaches affected as Warri Itakwe train derail. We have a video to that effect. Let's take a look at it, then we'll come back and talk a bit on the story.
Nigeria is such a great country. And now you can see airports emerging. So I know you will say, oh, the flights are so expensive. Everywhere in the world, even in America, flights are expensive. And that's why Mr. President is doing the coastal roads. Not only coastal road, even trying to have rail lines. And so I know the previous administration started the rail line. And, we continue, we keep building. Nigeria has a huge future ahead of it. And by the grace of God, very soon, we all will be beneficiaries of the success of what Nigeria will become.
Wow, many Jews. Many major injuries.
My sister.
To play that those videos side by side, where Remi Tinubu says everywhere in the world, even in America, flights are expensive, and that is why the president is making possible everything possible to do the coastal road. And here we are, the Warri Itakwe train has been suspended due to stolen trails for some time periods of month, I think some months, and it just resumed last week. And here we are, what happened? So my question here is, does it mean okay, I don't know why Femi is laughing now. Does it mean with the coastal roads being built and stuff like that, this is not the first time this is happening? We had one in Kaduna State happened some months, I think, is it last year? I can't remember now when it happened. Are we free from this? Is the wife of the president telling us that, okay, since we can't afford, even the less privileged that can't afford the flights now, going to the one they feel, okay, it's safe, we have insecurity rampaging the country, this is safe, but we have 3 souls lost in the course of this incident that happened in the Warri Itakwe train derail. Please, your take on it. And as you're from Delta State, if you have any update for us as it stands this morning. Prince God's time, please, over to you.
First and foremost, I wish to correct you that there is no train line called Warri Itakbe.
Okay.
It is Itakbe Ujewu train line.
Okay. Thank you for
yes,
that.
Ujewu is an rural community near Warri.
Okay.
And sadly, this train line passed through my community, Africa. Most times when I go to Abuja, I use it to continue the road trip. And it was a sad moment for us yesterday when the news came of that very awful occurrence. The occurrence remained painful. And this is not the first time, but this is the first time we have such casualty. The train has subsequently derailed several times, but it didn't get this attention because it lost lives. We must recall that this rail track and rail line we are talking about was completed by President Muhammadu Buhari after it has been abandoned for a very long time. And for me, the line did not meet a bestial standard in the first place. Though the line is helping us in terms of movements and bringing of produce from northern Nigeria. But then again, it should be from Ujewu to Abuja, not Ujewu to Itakbe, Kogi State. And while we have been agitating that they should come and reinforce the rail track, then extend it down to Abuja. This has been our cry and our advocacy for a very long time now. But these people, they are yet to listen to us before this very tragic incident. This will show you that, like I said earlier, that our government do not prioritize. They don't know to also manage and manage their own property. Because if that place is well managed, we'll see there won't be vandalizers in that place to take up some of these things. And our people are very wicked also. We don't even believe in this country of ours. This is to the masses. Because if these people have not stolen some of this track, the train won't have derailed. So we don't love our country as a people enough for us to be able to help the federal government to manage our infrastructure that is helping us. These are people that barely do things for us. So it is only proper that the moment they put this little one for us, we manage it conscientiously, put in effort to manage it. But no, we don't do that. So that incident yesterday is part of the people. It's a 50-50 blame. Part of the 50% blame goes to the government, and 50% blame come to us who are the masses, because this is not the first, and they continually vandalize this rail track, which is not a good thing. And for the wife of the president, what do you expect her to say? This is a government that are reactionary. They don't take action. They only wait for something to happen for them to react. And she will always say that in such kind of words. And the what's it called, the kind of publicity that is being given to the coastal line is very, very terrible. You are talking about these people, they are very terrible. But then again, my condolences to the family of the people that experienced that issue yesterday. And let us continue to pray for them, for God to give them the fortitude to bear the loss. And those people that are injured, wish them speedy recovery. And to the government, I want to call on you. Let us prioritize the management of federal government infrastructure. It should not be business as usual. It should not wait for action something to happen for you to react. Learn to manage your infrastructures. Learn to manage your properties. It is only government properties that are being handled with 100% level of carelessness. But when it is privately owned or it is on concession, you see a level of management. But when it is for the government, the government are nonchalant about it. The citizens are nonchalant about it. And these are the citizens that benefit from this infrastructure. It's a very painful one. Call to government and call to the people. Let us prioritize. Let us learn how to manage government infrastructure that is for our own use. Thank us all, and God bless us.
Okay, thank you so much, Prince God's time today, for availing your time. But before we leave you, is there any last word you would like to give us and to your viewers? before you go on the show today?
My last word is very simple. It's gotten from my earlier call. If I am president of Nigeria today, I will enact a Nigeria Patriots law, whereby all Nigeria will be patriotic to Nigeria. A patriotic citizen is that one that protects government infrastructures and government property and love his country effortlessly. So for me, my last word is for all Nigeria to be patriotic to Nigeria. No matter how terrible it is, let us be patriotic to this country and give in our best. Let us not look at what Nigeria will give to us, but let us look at what we give to Nigeria, how we can make Nigeria a better place.
Thank you so much, Prince Gostam Ukwanwe, for availing us your time this morning, and we say well to the people of Delta State. Thank you so much. All right, we'll continue the show this morning. We have to let him go. He has some engagements to attend to. We have the story here on illegal immigrants caught in Lagos, a raid. And this very one again, mad woman caught spying for bandits. Please take a look at the video. Then we'll come back and discuss on it.
À ń pe ọ̀rọ̀ yìí lówè ó ń ná ronú o ẹ wò ẹ má jà sùn mọ́ o gbogbo àwọn ará àdúgbò sùn àkọ́kọ́ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn ará àdúgbò Jábẹ́ ṣe rí i pé gbogbo wọn anybody ti wà lójú fò ibi ní Jábẹ́ nígbàpá CDA Ìkòròdú Lagos State Nigeria gbogbo àwọn fọ́rínà tó jókòó yìí bandit ni wọn o àwọn kan Sudan àwọn kan Kenya wọn ní níbẹ̀ máa jẹ́ kó fẹ́ lóra wọn sọ kẹfẹ́tìrà yín gbọ́ ẹjọ́ bọ̀ eléyìí tá a wá ṣe yìí àsùnmọ́ o èní Sunday kí n dé tèmi náà nípa ní èní 7/6/2026 ọjọ́ keje oṣù kẹfà nínú ọdún 2026 ṣe ti rí wọn mélòó ni wọ́n tún fọ́ ó yá you are from which state? You are from which country? Sudan. Okay, you are welcome to Nigeria. You are from which country? Sudan. Welcome to Nigeria. You are from which country? Sudan. Sudan. You are welcome. Yes, excuse me. You are from which country? Sudan also. You are welcome to Nigeria. Yes. You are from which country? Sudan. Welcome to Nigeria. You come. Chad Republic. Welcome to Nigeria. You are from which country? Chad. Welcome to Nigeria. You are from which country? Chad. Welcome to Nigeria. You are from which country? Welcome to Nigeria. Okay, you are welcome. So we will handle you over to government. Police have come already. Thank you.
Right, viewers, you just watch those videos on the illegal immigrants caught in Lagos raid and the mad woman caught spying for bandits. This is not the first time we've heard of stories. You see them, their appearances while they are there as informants for these same bandits, just to take words to them and see if the roads are clear or to give them information on where to strike. And we hear of stories of the flooding of arms and ammunition by the UN officials. So do we relate it with this influx of immigrants coming into the country? And from the countries I was able to get, we hear of the Sudan, we hear of Chad, and Kenya too. We hear of Mali, we hear of Niger. And some people will tell you since the 2015 elections, the same people that were brought in to come snatch ballot papers and do all the destructions they did then refused to leave this country, and we still have them coming into the country. Our borders are porous as it is. If we can't save our country as it is now, how do we even get to secure our borders? Now my question is, how do these people get, I rightly said our borders are porous, that we have our security personnel and can't question, interrogate these people when they come in. When do they even come in that we don't even know?
You know, just like you said, our borders are porous. Our borders are not secured. Now, this is just the ones
we know,
because they have been caught. You can imagine how many have actually walked into this country and they have been working freely.
Really?
Like they barge in and barge out at any time they want, and they have found this country to be a place to stay. Just like you said, some of them have been brought in to snatch in ballot papers, and when their work is done, they found, wow, this is a good place to stay. And they have found a home in Nigeria, and some of them are just seated comfortably. And because they are comfortable here, they want to call in their brothers who are still there. It's like this is a greener pasture for them. So they are calling in for their brothers who are in Chad, in Niger, in Sudan, Chad, and the rest of them to come in so that they can also partake from the greener pasture. Because terrorism in Nigeria now looks like a green pasture,
a lucrative business.
A lucrative business. You see bandits displaying cash on the internet, and people are watching, and they're like, wow, it's like this thing is a good business. Maybe
why don't I join them?
Maybe I should give it a try. So it will always call in for more. But this is a country where we have the immigration, we have the customs service. Name all the military, the paramilitaries, we have them in Nigeria. Is it the civil defense, the police, the Air Force?
That was why I asked that same question. How do they get in when we have all this, the customs, like you rightly mentioned, the immigration officers? How do they get in when they are not being checked? I know people will go out, buy cars out of the country and come. The interrogation, the vehicles, yes.
They have to be checked before they come in.
Yes. How do these ones come in that they are not being checked?
This speaks so much on the integrity of our personnel, especially the immigration officers that are saddled with responsibility to mount our borders, right? And of course, the customs officers have to check the goods that are coming to the country. And it's so much speaks so greatly and grossly on their integrity, because this is about impunity. I'm serious, it's corruption. Because if these people are coming in, they are not coming in from the sky. They came in through our border. Now this time it's through the southwest. That means they came in through Badagry houses, right? So maybe, not sure, they settled the personnel. I mean,
most likely
they gave them kickback, and from there they are not able to talk.
From the look of these guys, Femi, do they look like someone who can settle our officers? What do they have? These ones are coming in.
Do you know that they came in?
Themselves.
They came in through. If you see what is behind them, it's through a bus behind them. They were caught. They had to stop them and search and ask them to come down. Do you know that these people will not come to Nigeria without having an insider that invited? For example, now you can't go to Ghana even if you have faith like Abraham. You cannot just pick your bag and go to Ghana. Where will you sleep? Where will you stay? You must have an insider, maybe a citizen or somebody who probably an immigrant who have probably settled in Ghana, calling you to come. So it's that these people have an insider in Nigeria, as she has already said, that there's a country that is very complacent, and there's a gross ineptitudeness of their leaders, that you can thrive here. Nobody checks in, nobody look at. Do you know that Niger to Castina is just few hours? Very porous border. When they were closing this Badagry border, that Tinubu said, Buhari then said no importation of foreign rice. All the borders in the northern part of Nigeria were open. Very porous. You can just walk in from Castina to Niger as if you are taking a stroll. I'm serious. You can make your findings. Castina to Niger is very, very short. So, these guys can just come in, go out. Now I think the government to start to put their focus on that aspect. Securing our borders. Because if you are doing an internal work on security and the borders are not secured, it will be as if something will sabotage your efforts. I'm serious.
Even if you're trying to get rid of the ones within, what about the ones
that are
coming in? Yes.
I know most of them are tools in the hands of these bandits. They easily recruit them and then,
Like we said, it's a lucrative business.
Baba Adeboye said something. Now. Pastor Adeboye of Redeemed Christian Church of God said something. I think at the Holy Ghost Congress a few weeks ago. He said, I want to advise the government. It's an advice that when any kidnapper is being arrested, don't only eliminate the kidnapper, also eliminate their sponsors. I'm serious. If you do that, these guys cannot just come in without somebody inviting them, somebody brackrolling them. Do you know how much is AK-47? In millions of naira? How do you think they can afford it? Somebody is behind. If you can deal with ourselves, of course, internal arrangements, there must also be a consensuous effort to secure our border. By doing that, all effort invested, that now they have expedited state policing policies. They are passing the bill now at a speed of light, right? If they are doing all those internal arrangements, let us not put our eyes off the external ones, securing our border. And I believe our leaders will do something, hopefully.
All right, moving forward, we have the stories too. Police arrest 8 foreigners over fake kidnapping and extortion in Ogun State. And the fight against terror is a national duty, not just a military. This is coming from Tinubu. We also have this, don't beg for criminals' release. It's shameful. Ex-police PRO warns Nigerians. And still on insecurity, labor protest as Senate expedite state policing. Yes, we talked of the state policing bills still ongoing now, and here we are. Education key to countering terrorism. This is coming from our defense minister. He was in Kaduna a few days back, and I know, if my memory serves me right, when Boko Haram came in, Rebecca, their fight was against education, Western education, saying education is haram, is prohibited. And here we are, our Minister of Defense telling us that education key to countering terrorism. So how do we put, I know several factions of this group are out now. How do we put this together, that of the Boko Haram, what they stand for, and here we are, our Minister of Defense telling us that education is the key to countering terrorism?
Well, he's right, actually. Education is one of the keys to countering terrorism.
And mind you, Rebecca, most of these terrorists are educated. Some of them, when you hear them speak, you wonder where they go to their schools and they talk about education being a scam or so.
If you know, like I rightfully said, yes, education, one of the tools. I wouldn't say it's
Okay.
it's like one
Or
part of the
countering
story.
terrorism
Yes,
now, that
it's,
is
it's
what
one
we are
of the
focusing
tools
in.
that we. But now, when you look at it, looking at the Oyo State kidnapping, these are children who were kidnapped from schools in their classroom, and you want to counter terrorism, and these children, at the moment, they are supposed to be in their classrooms, receiving teachings, lectures, whatever. But right now, they are in the bush. So how do you intend to counter? And these children are called what? Leaders of tomorrow. And you want to counter terrorism. And the leaders of tomorrow are being kidnapped. They are in the bush. Now, these children, when they come out, what do you think might become of them? What do you think might become of them? So it's so easy to say some things. But when we look at it in depth, what they are doing on one hand is different from what they are saying.
Like
So-
they say, on paper it's very
Yes.
easy, but bringing it to action.
The blueprint is easy to
That is
write it
where
on
the
paper,
problem
but
is.
it's
Alright.
practically.
May I lend my voice quickly?
Please go ahead.
To me, what the Minister of Defense has said, to me personally, and I have right to my own
course.
opinion,
Yes.
is a political statement. How much has the government of the day invested in education? Let's start from there. If education is a tool to salvage
Countering
or
terrorism.
counter the terrorism in our society, how much have they invested? Is it the same government that ASU is having problem every day? How much is minimum wage? You know, these are the things we look at. Do you know how much has been looted from TED Fund? You know, if a government is
We
saying
see
education,
schools
what is the
dilapidated?
you
These are the
understand?
conditions these students go
Look,
to school by
even
the
look
day.
at the said school where these children were being kidnapped. Look at their ceiling. Look at their classroom. And you are saying education where is, to me, is a political statement. Somebody said, and I quote, not my word. He said, there is no way you want to defend a PC government that you will not look like a fool. Not my word.
That's
May
true
God help
anyway.
us.
Amen.
You go take they defend them. Okay. All right. Now we'll go to next segment for the day. Please stay tuned.
All right, welcome back, viewer. Up next is the message section on today on ACNN. And we'll be looking at the topic, believers are royal priesthood. We'll link you up with the sermon by Venerable Titilope Oboyomi as he give us a brief chat as we look at the topic, believers are royal priesthood.
Whenever God empowers a man through the release of his word, God raises his expectation for the productivity of that man. Why? To whom much is given, much is expected. We must therefore settle in our minds from this onset, with all the resources that have been deployed, that is being deployed, that will be deployed, that at the end, God expects nothing less from a crop of priestly believers that will enforce his kingdom within the diocese, province, and the Church of Nigeria, having been highly equipped for the work of the ministry. Hallelujah. Our theme is the priesthood of all believers. What exactly did Apostle Peter mean when he refers to believers as a royal priesthood? Peter, the daring Peter that had requested to walk upon water and did walk. Peter, the weakling, turned rock. Simon turned Petros. Peter, that Jesus commissioned to tend his flock if he really loved him. That was the apostle through whom God declared to believers our status as priests. The declaration, a royal priesthood. We may thus consider it only absurd, not only absurd, but for Peter to declare that Jewish and Gentile believers were a royal priesthood and a holy nation,
even though they were living as exiles, hitherto the priesthood had been reserved to Aaron's priestly lineage up until the temple curtains were rent into twain after Jesus paid with his blood as a propitiation for our sins. That atonement not only brought to an end daily sacrificial procedures, but it transformed it into a spiritual sacrificial order, which is to offer up spiritual sacrifices as captured by verse 5 of our text. Peter, when he refers to us as living stones, Petros, a stone himself, knew exactly what he was saying. In our opening verse, he referred to Jesus as a living stone. Hence, we all have to be living stones if we have to come to him. And then, we are used to build a spiritual house. Can a stone be alive, if I may ask? The phrase living stones correlates well with the phrase living sacrifices. But I thought sacrifices were meant to be offered dead. Herein lies the dilemma. A living sacrifice is dead, yet alive. Dead to sin, but alive to God. And that is why after being offered upon the altar as dead, the same dead sacrifice can still crawl down from the altar at will, simply because it's alive and he goes to do anything he wants to do. Here Paul, Romans 12:1, I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. These words are in perfect synergy with verse 5 of our text. Ye also, as lively stones, you are built up as a spiritual house, and holy priesthood, to offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable to God by Jesus Christ. It may be under this premise, since it is the priests that offer sacrifices, that Peter declares a holy priesthood upon all believers, so that we can offer up acceptable sacrifices. We are thus a royal priesthood for the purpose of offering spiritual sacrifices. These sacrifices being our work of ministry, which we need to be equipped for. And who are these we that are now a royal priesthood? The believers. Only believers are qualified to take on the royal priesthood.
All right, welcome back, viewer. That was the message by Venerable Titilayo Oboyomi on believers are royal priesthood. Here we see two words coming together: royalty, priesthood. The Venerable talked about the lineage of Aaron. When we look at the priestly genealogy in the Bible, where Aaron was the ordained priest, and then his descendants follow suit. But here we see it coming from another light, talking about believers, not just Aaron's descendants as being part of the priesthood, but for believers adopting the royalty, the priesthood of Christ Jesus. Reverend Femi.
Right.
Let me call you Reverend now. Can you help us do justice?
All right. That's what we call the theology of the priesthood of all believers. The priesthood of all believers conferred the spiritual responsibility of leadership on every believer. I repeat myself.
On every believer.
Priesthood of all believers conferred spiritual responsibility of the ministry on every believers. That means you may not be called into the ordained ministry, but you have the spiritual responsibility to do the work of the ministry. Of course, scriptures told us in Ephesians chapter 4. It says, so to some he gave apostle, to some he gave prophet, to some he gave pastor, some teachers. He said for the perfecting of the saints, for the equipping of the saints, for the work of ministry. What does that connote? It means that you come to church on Sunday, on Wednesday, as it may. Your pastor, who probably may be a prophet or teacher or a pastor or a teacher or an apostle, teaches you, and you go outside there. What he does on Sunday is to equip you. Your pastor will equip you for the work of the ministry,
so that you can go.
You now go back there to do the ministry. Do you believe that there are some platforms that your pastor or your vicar can never stand? But you as a member, because of your influence and affluence, you are always there, walking in effortlessly. That means you being there, you are representing God. Your own, thank you. Sorry. I wanted to say thank you. Your job or your work is not just a job, it's your only ministry. I say it again. Your what? Your work is not what? Just a job. Is what?
Holy ministry.
Your holy ministry. That means that it is what we call division of labor. The pastors cannot do it alone. Not all of us will come into the ordained ministry, but all of us will do the work of the ministry. Not all of us will come into the ordained ministry.
If I rightfully understand what you are saying, is that at every platform God gives you, whether you are a banker, whether you are a teacher, whether you are a doctor, you are a priest in that office. That is your own ministry, and you are meant to stand on that platform as a priest that God has called. So far as you are a believer, a born again child of God, you are a priest in whatever sector. And you know that leads us to some of our politicians who are just like you rightfully said. Some of us, our pastors might not have those bigger platforms like some of the members might even have. They have influences and the platform that God has given them. You are standing in a position of authority where you speak to thousands and possibly millions of people. You can actually use those platforms and serve as a priest in that capacity that you are. And you'll be amazed. That little thing, that little light of yours that you'll be able to shine, you'll be amazed how much it will brighten up.
And okay, can I just chip in? As a priesthood, every other person, everybody has this access to God. Not just your vicar, not just the priest, not just the
bishop.
GOs, the bishops. You can also get access to God, not until you go direct to your priest, your vicars. We know, they are there to guide you as a spiritual fathers. You can also be there in your quiet place and you have access to God. We are his royal priesthood. He has ordained us already. He has given us that power. We have it in us to worship him, to praise him, to also intercede for others and stand in the gap for other people. You don't necessarily have to wait until, like you say, go and meet this person. Even if it is small headache, I need to go and see my pastor. Within your closet, you can just get access to that.
That was what happened
to God.
When Jesus died and the curtains in the temple were torn apart, granted each and every one of us access.
And I would like to chip in this. What you said is very laudable, that you don't need to visit your pastor for everything. But then that does not herald the place of the ordained ministers. No, we have to draw that line. Very clear. The ordained minister are to equip the saints. How do you do that? How do we do that? We teach you what to do, how to do it, when to do it, where to do it. So our own is to teach. So we do the work of a poimonas didaskalos, a pastor teacher.
Please break it down. Break it down.
Poimenas didaskalos. That means we are a pastor teacher. We teach the saints. We keep the saints. We make them know what they should know. We teach them that when you are sick, you can pray and God will answer. And the attention is not on us. The attention is on Jesus. Those are the things we teach you. But then, that does not equate May I say this with all sense of understanding? That does not equate that the parishioners, the pew does not equal to the pulpit. The pulpit is always higher than the pew.
Always
the
sacred.
place of the ordained ministers is holy, is a very let me put it in the scriptural perspective now. It is a consecrated kind of position. God calls people, but then I want to say that even if God has not called you, you are still a minister of the gospel.
I am a royal priest.
Okay, I think Revelation chapter 1 verse 6.
Yes,
he said he has made them priests and kings, and they will reign on earth. So you are a king and you are a priest.
I am.
A holy nation and a people belonging to.
You know, as a king now, you have money. So your spiritual account, maybe you have like 25 billion.
That is not simple.
Please borrow me 1 million.
You said spiritual account.
Spiritual account. All right, on that note, we will take the weather forecast for the day.
Welcome to the global weather forecast for Tuesday, June 9th, 2026. Today, we are tracking significant meteorological shifts across both hemispheres. Across much of the globe, seasonal weather patterns continue to establish themselves. The transition to a super El Niño phase is driving unprecedented warmth and moisture variability. West Africa remains under the heavy influence of the monsoon. We are seeing widespread rainfall across the coastal states, with moisture bands pushing deep into the interior regions. Southern Europe continues to bake under a persistent heat dome. High-pressure systems are maintaining clear skies and temperatures well above seasonal averages from Spain to Greece. The monsoon is particularly active across South Asia. A large-scale convective system is currently moving over the Indian subcontinent, bringing critical but intense seasonal rains. In Southeast Asia, Thailand and Vietnam are seeing frequent thunderstorms. However, some southern regions are experiencing drier spells as the El Niño pattern shifts moisture northward. North America is seeing a stark contrast today. While the interior West is experiencing record heat, the eastern regions are dealing with isolated but severe afternoon thunderstorms. Tropical South America remains wet. The Amazon basin is seeing daily convective downpours, with moisture levels reaching near saturation points in several key ecological zones. In the southern hemisphere, Australia is enjoying a period of generally stable and dry weather. A strong high-pressure ridge is providing clear, sunny skies for most major cities. Turning our attention now to Nigeria, we are expecting widespread rainfall and thunderstorms to continue across the southern and central states throughout the day. While the south-south and southeast regions face heavy downpours, the northern states remain warmer with only isolated showers forecast for the later afternoon hours. That wraps up our global weather report for this Tuesday. Thank you for joining us. Wishing you a safe and productive day ahead.
All right, there you have it, a global weather update for today, the 9th of June 2026. And I know we had some rains this morning. Yesterday too, we had some rains, and we'll be expecting some light rains later here in Abuja. And as we call it a wrap today on ACNN. Now, today on ACNN, I would like to have your last word, if there is any.
I would like to get my last words from the message we just listened to, believers as royal priesthood. As you go out there today, always remember that you are a priest in whatever capacity that God has placed you. And make sure you represent Christ wherever you find yourself. Don't allow to be swept over by the systems of this world. Remember that you are a priest and an ambassador of Christ, and that is all you need to know. And you should go out there walking like a priest that God has called you to be. Have a blessed day.
May I be permitted to pitch my tent with Rebecca this morning? That God put you in that position for a reason. represent him very well. And of course, there's a reward for good representation of God's kingdom. God bless Nigeria.
Amen. Thank you so much, Rebecca and Femi, for piloting this ship with me. And to our guest who joined us virtually, Prince Godstime Ukwanuwe, thank you for your thoughts on the program today. And like we'll always keep it as a reminder to everyone out there, if you're yet to register, please, the portals are open. Go get your PVCs 2027. It's just around the corner. Don't be left out. And for those in captivity up to now, our prayers go with them, and we pray for a safe release of them very soon to be reunited with their family and loved ones. I am Rachel Ibunu. Is bye from here.